Hi, my name is Kathy Moyne and we're here at Green Thumb Nursery in Lake Forest, California. And I'm going to do something a little different today. So you're out in the garden and you're just hanging out and your dog comes running through chasing the cat and knocks over a pot and breaks it. Oh no, you broke my pot! So instead of just throwing it away, we're going to do something fun with this. We're going to make this into a succulent arrangement. So what I've done with this pot is I went through and took a file, or you can use sandpaper, and filed down the edges so it wasn't sharp, because it was pretty sharp and I didn't want to cut myself or the plants. So you want to do that first. And then what I'm going to do to help, because there's no lip right here, is I'm going to use a piece of fiberglass screening. I know you probably can't see this very well, but this is what you use for your windows. So it's just made out of fiberglass. I like to use this screening to cover the holes in the bottom of the pot so the dirt doesn't fall out and bugs don't get in. But this time we're going to use this to kind of help secure the soil. And we're going to use some other things to help that as well, because until it gets rooted in there, the soil is going to be a little loose. But once everything gets rooted in there, it's going to hang on. So you'll see what I'm talking about. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going to put this screen material in here in such a way that I've got a little bit of a lip here in front. And let's see, I gotta get this going the right way. And then we're just going to start creating our little masterpiece here. So I'll use the soil to kind of hold this in place once I get going, and tuck it in so you won't see it. But we're going to be using the EB Stone Cactus and Succulent mix. I'll just go through the full line and eventually get the right one. This one is the Cactus mix and we're going to be using that, but I have an open bag. I don't want to open this bag, so I got an open bag that I'm going to be pulling from. So to start, I'm going to put a little bit of soil in here just to hold this screen in place. And most of our succulents are going to be hanging out the front here, at least at the beginning. And I'm going to be using my glasses on so you can tell you what I'm throwing in here. This one is a sedum, gold copper, and he is going to go on the bottom. And what's kind of cool about this is he's just going to lay on the ground or lay on whatever surface that you have as he grows, and then he will grow out and hang down if you put them on a ledge. And I'm kind of positioning this screen here so that it'll kind of hug that root ball to hold it in. And you kind of need to use, at least to get started, ones that have an established root ball, because that's going to help us to hold our space and soil in here. And then I'm going to come back and I'll cover up the screening with some sphagnum moss once we get done. Okay, and then on top of that one, I'm going to put a calancho, a variegated calancho. And this is going to be my next layer. And I tried to get some things that would kind of contrast each other, kind of go with the color of the pot. And then I'm going to have this little hole kind of down here in the corner, so I am going to throw something with some flowers. This is a calancho, calancho. And they flower off and on throughout the year. So I'm just going to use this to give us a little pop of color down here and kind of take up that little space down there, because we want it to be full looking. Okay. And then this one is an Echeveria tectorum, and that's going to go in this little spot over here on the side. Now I'm going to loosen it up a little bit so I can make us a lip for where it's going to sit on the pot, and the dirt's kind of up to the root ball there, so that will go right into there. Okay, and then we're going to throw this little guy in here. Actually, no, I think I'm going to put this one is called Senecio String of Dolphins, and these are really cool. They look like dolphins. And break it up a little bit. And I'm going to use it in the top as well. And that we're going to very carefully kind of shove this down into this little hole right here. Okay. And then I'm going to throw this one, is another type of sedum. I'm going to put him right there. And then I have my other, this is another Kalanchoe, or Kalanchoe, whichever you want to call it. Like tomato. Okay. So that's pretty much got my throw a little more in here. I can, yep. I think I'm going to put the rest of this in there. At least another chunk of it. So that'll kind of hang down in betweenst. All this right here. And then I can fill up the rest of the pot with my soils to start with the next layer on top. So, and then I'll fill in these holes on the gaps right here with some sphagnum moss. So hopefully that will get us where we need to be for the soil. All right, so then on the back, I'm going to put, this one is another Kalanchoe. This is Tomentoso Brownie. And he's going to be in the back because I want a little height. And then I'm going to put, this is Haworthia zebrina. Okay, I'm going to need some soil underneath that guy. So I'm going to put some sphagnum moss in there right now because I need to fill that gap there so my soil doesn't fall out. Okay. It's kind of my hole plugger here. Okay. And then we got, where'd the Haworthia go? There it is. It's a good thing I don't have a big space. Alright, a little more soil. We want him to be peeking up over the top a little bit here. There we go. This guy can get a little more too. Alright, and then we're going to add another Kalanchoe. This one is a double flower when it opens. These are called Kalanchoe or Kalanchoe. This is like your regular run-of-the-mill everyday Kalanchoe. When people say Kalanchoe, this is the one you think of, or at least I do. And then we're going to throw this guy in here. This one is Othena capensis ruby necklace. So he's got a little bit of red on him. And he's going to hang down nicely over the edge. So we're going to put him back here towards the back so that he doesn't hang over these guys. So then this will trail over this side of the pot. Nice. And then we're going to put the rest of that string of dolphins in this little hole right here. Okay. And then we'll fill in our soil. And then when this fills in, should fill in nicely. Oops, making a mess here. I always make good messes. But it's nice, you can just wash them off when you're done. Okay. Alright, our hole right here. And then we're also going to throw some Osmocote in here. This is Osmocote. This is a controlled release fertilizer. And what I like about it is you use it twice a year. It lasts about 6 months. You sprinkle a little bit on the top. And you don't have to be too careful with it. You do want to make sure it gets into the soil. It doesn't get down into the cracks and crevices of the succulents, because if it doesn't hit the soil, it's not going to really work for you. But once you water, whenever you water, it releases a little bit of fertilizer. So you always get a little bit of fertilizer every time you water, which is nice. And you only have to do it twice a year, which is nice. Okay, so that's that, as far as that's where I'm at for there. And then I'm going to really gently lay this on its side. No, I'm not going to gently lay it on its side. It's going to fall apart. I'm going to put some moss in and around the edges here to take up some of that space and lock them in while they're rooting. Okay, shove that in there. Looks like we're pretty good on the bottom. Shove this in here. And it's okay if you do it tight, because it needs to be tight. Or it's going to fall apart on you if you don't make it tight. A bit right here. There we go. A little under there. A little under in here. Okay. My top is falling apart. Soil right there, and there you have it. There's our arrangement. Don't throw away those broken pots if they got something that you can work with. They make a great arrangement. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please click the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button. And hopefully we'll catch you on the next video. Thank you and have a great day.